Well, there's only 3 of us going on the run today. I think quite a few others that were interested in this trip saw the weather reports and decided just to set it out. The north of the state, Northern California and Northern Nevada, are being hit by a pretty severe storm right now. And we're on the southern edge of it. We are getting some pretty severe winds, but we don't know if we're going to get any snow or rain out of it. Probably not, but we'll see. A lot of these trails we drive on out here are accessible by quite a few different vehicles, but they do have their little sections that you have to manage and work your way through. A good rule of thumb for these types of trails is have decent tires, have enough ground clearance that you can actually crawl underneath your vehicle, and that should just about get you there. And then some common sense while driving. Sometimes you need throttle, most of the times you don't. You just need to creep your way around so you don't damage your vehicle. That's my best advice. And it should be 4-wheel drive for the sections you have trouble with.
Well, today we're on a run up to the Chloride Cliffs Road. We just turned off of Highway 95, just south of Beatty. Got a couple other members of the Jeep Club tagging along with us. We're going to go have us a little adventure out here in the wind today. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse than this. But there's supposed to be a big storm coming into the north part of California and Nevada. And we're on the southern edge of it down here. Anyhow, ought to be a fun trip. There's some monuments up here and old buildings and mining junk to look at. We're going to go see what we can see.
I don't know if a lot of you are noticing this, but there is not much dust out here, even with those 50, 60 mile an hour winds we're getting. And that's thanks to all the rain we've been having lately. It's a strange year.
I think I'm going to St. George to the off-road games in the middle of March on the 14th. And then the next run I'm going to post after that for the club will be a run over to Death Valley to the honeymooners cabin.
When is that?
That'll be sometime around the end of March or 1st of April, depending on what the weather forecast looks like.
Never been there. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I think it should be.
What cabin is that they're going to?
It's the Essayer or honeymoon cabin. Or I think they call it, the other name for it is a geologist cabin. You might find that on some websites.
Okay, I've been to that and across the Strike Butte Valley and Boca Ranch and Monarch Canyon, all through there. It's a very interesting ride.
I don't know if you remember from my Death Valley series, but I actually met a person who lived at Baker Ranch for a few weeks while Charlie Manson was there, but this was before all the crazy started. And his comment about Charlie Manson was he was one crazy dude.
See these little bushes whipping around? It takes a lot to get them to move like that. You try opening your car door and the wind will blow it shut on you. It's crazy up here right now, probably 50 miles an hour in places. Man, did you hear that wind before I cut my mic off? Yeah, here comes Verge and Elaine and Dale bringing up the rear back there. Head on up the hill if the wind don't blow us off. Well, I'm pretty sure if we hadn't had all the recent rain that we've got, the dust would be so bad right now you'd think you're driving through one of them Habibs.
Right. Except up here in the rocks.
That tornado sound is the wind whipping through my rolled up windows. It is blowing up here.
Man, my poor little flag thinks I'm doing 80, 90 miles an hour down the road.
I was just looking at that. It's got a pretty good bend in it.
Well, if it's a fishing rod, there'd definitely be a keeper on the end of it.
Looks like an old cabin, but it's actually the entrance to their mine. Very strange. And over here we have the final resting spot of James McKay, the miner. Nothing else is known about him, according to the Death Valley website.
We'll have to look it up in our history book.
The little creek. And they claim it come out 20 miles over the Flint River.
No, I'll be darned. Yeah, we walk back in here and it kind of dead ends and daylights with a couple little chutes, but not much more.
Not like they just worked for 30 days and worked there.
No, they were here a bit longer. There we go. Now I can see the whole world from here.
Got one of the good ones.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on looking into mine. It's a little too windy.
Me too. I think it's straight ahead here, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a crossroads and we go straight across it.
Got it. I see the cabin way down yonder. think it's straight ahead here, isn't it?
Uh, yeah, there's a crossroads and we go straight across it.
Got it.
We're coming up to a location where we stopped for lunch. It was a little side spur off of the trail we're on now. And we saw the wooden entrance to a mine shaft. Dale took a peek in the door, said he saw nothing. But as we were having lunch, I noticed up in the bushes above it a stovepipe sticking out. So we decided we better go in and take a look and see what we can find. And what we find inside this little narrow mine entrance is pretty amazing. Somebody carved a living quarters out of solid rock, put a wooden roof over it, and then covered it with dirt. This thing here is perfectly comfortable, as cold as it is today, and there's a stovepipe sticking out. But look at the rock, look at the formations in the rock. And this is all smooth. I don't know how they cut this out of here, because all the walls are smooth. But they framed it up and made it a living quarters. Very interesting. And I don't know how they did it, but the corners are cut square. The wall is, it's almost like a granite countertop. How did they do it? A little footage from a different camera. Looks a little darker. What do you guys think?
Well, this is it. Bounce your way on up. I can see the smooth mark looking down here. That's a pretty impressive looking canyon there off to our left.
We were just discussing the fact that maybe one of them roads take you to a dead end right at the top of it.
Here we're dropping into Upper Monarch Canyon. Pretty scenic down through there. Gets very steep, and there's supposedly a waterfall down here. We'll find out. Well, we're getting close to the falls. There's another tourist down here taking pictures of the rock canyons. Most of the rock you see down here is of the metamorphic nature, meaning it was formed when Earth was formed. It's like a marbleized layer cake. As the material was hot, it melted and was shoved together, and that gives you the effects that you see on these rocks. It looks like a layer cake of some sorts. Wow, look at the layers in that. Check out that layer of quartz. Death Valley website says this stream starts at the top of this mountain. 110 feet of height is what these falls are supposed to be. Pretty impressive. And here's Verge sitting on the edge of the falls for a photo op. The wind's blowing like crazy. Old people aren't that sturdy, but he likes to live life on the edge. Not me, I'm going to stay back here and take the picture. This is as far as you can drive to from Upper Monarch Canyon. There's a footpath that goes all the way down to the bottom and out to the Beatty Cutoff. A lot of people come up from that direction because they say the best view of the fall is from below. And from what I can see from this little limited hike I took, I would have to agree. 110 feet from the top to the bottom. Pretty impressive. And look at the layers and layers of rock. They say this is metamorphic rock, formed early on in Earth's development. Very impressive. And this is a nice trail. It goes all the way down to the bottom, so you could go down and get a good view of the falls. There is actually running water down here at the bottom coming from a spring at the top of the mountain. It weaves its way in and out of the rock waterfall and comes out at the bottom. Pretty impressive. And just look at the layers and layers of rock. And those quartz vein is crazy. Hey, thank you, those who are still watching. We appreciate you. Leave us a comment. Give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. Like and subscribe. You can hit that notification bell, and you'll know when our next video is coming out. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for your time, and hope to see you back here again. This was another fun adventure. This concludes our run for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. We're getting ready to pull out on the Daylight Pass and head for home. Here comes Dale back there somewhere. Here he comes. All right, we're ready to go. Thanks for watching.